Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Tales of Myth and Mayhem and our little game of Fallout. It never fucking changes. Joining us are the players. Hi, players.
Hi,
Hello,
Overseer.
Overseer.
Hi, Overseer.
See, we said hello already, like 10 minutes ago when everyone joined on. But we're saying hello for the benefit of our audience who did not see that, and it would appear rude and weird and incongruent if we didn't. Joining to that up there is Billy, our resident sitting mutant, who's sitting in for Vincent today, who couldn't be with us because of viruses, biological attack on his family. Get well soon, Vincent. But yeah, Billy will just sit there and grunt and growl silently at us while we play. So let's do a little bit of a recap. So, our players are hunting for the God Board to save their town from, well, essentially save their infrastructure. It's a MacGuffin, a classic Fallout technological MacGuffin. And so far, they have blown up a power station, saved a whole town of people from being murdered by gunners in the employ of the Institute. And they have arrived in Boston to discover that there is a war brewing between Monofonto Towers and Goodneighbor, and that the Institute have taken over the wonderful city of Diamond City and are fighting some kind of war against a robot threat up north and are the only thing standing in the way. So it's a bit of a confusing and strange and high stakes political situation developing. Now, after Freddy has threatened to blow up everyone again, I think this is the second time that you've done that, Freddy. I think.
No, he said he. This is the first time he's done it here, but he suggested it previous when in Quincy but it was not him who followed through with it.
Fair enough. So we're going to start our start our game inside the State House. It is the morning. The crew have just rested up and are currently being talked to by the mayor of Goodneighbor, John Hancock, in his blue revolutionary coat and silly hat. The ghoul stands over you and says, "All right, fine. If you get the Constitution and you help us liberate Diamond City, I will personally assist you in making it over the bridge to where you need to go to find whatever the thing is that you're looking for. Do we have a deal?"
Oh, there's one other thing we need to discuss, of course.
Of course there is.
And maybe is Betsy around? I don't know if she's.
Betsy's outside.
Yeah, might want to bring her in.
Well, might be better if you come with me.
After you, sir.
All right. So, I assume you're all following. All right. John Hancock leads you out, and you fell asleep in the State House near what is commonly referred to as a junkie pile. The junkie pile, when you woke up, was missing. As you walk out, you notice that remnant people who were in the junkie pile are currently getting on with their day. Some of them are on the wall on the defenses to your right. There's a couple of them hanging out at Dr. Malibu's mind healer slash benders, sort of helping her out, getting her stock together. Jade, you notice that Dr. Malibu is there, and you see that Dr. Malibu is not practicing good sanitation. There are syringes that appear to have been used regularly, just in like a mug, but it's also got a bunch of pens in it. Like, this is not to your standards as a medical professional. And straight ahead of you, there is Betsy and Frank, her number one, standing there with a few goons. And she,
Also, I want to make note that I'm bringing Tuma with me.
of course. So Betsy looks over and scowls at you, Freddy, but then says, "All right. So what's the plan then? What's going on?"
We're going to go take care of the Constitution, but there's some negotiation yet left. Basically, there's really no negotiation. I'm just kind of informing you. We're taking Jeanine with us.
Betsy looks at John Hancock and then looks at you and says, "But she's mine."
No.
That's the rules. That's how we do things. That's the law. She stepped up, and she's still
And
alive.
that's in your building. We're not in your fucking building.
She looks at John and says, "I thought we had a deal." John says,
And I'm changing it. It's because you didn't negotiate properly earlier. You threatened us and threw us in this. So this is the price you pay. You don't get to kill the person who killed your boyfriend.
Betsy looks at Frank.
And if you don't like it, just so you know, I lied to Augusta yesterday about turning off the nukes.
Okay, I need you to do a perception survival check. Difficulty 3.
How do we do this again? I didn't have my character sheet open because I had to open and close my computer 3 times. All right. Perception. What was it?
Survival. Okay.
And I believe I can re-roll. Let me check out my perks real quick.
Just so you know, anything that's related to scavenging here will not help you.
Okay, that's where I was.
This is not
looking
a scavenging roll.
This would be scoundrel, actually. Could possibly. But that's not quite it either.
I mean, scavenging what you can from the negotiations, I guess.
I think that would be a stretch of the term. I'm kind of tempted to give you that because that is taking the piss in a way that is bold and I like. But yeah,
I've been reading up on the Discworld game, and that's how it does everything.
Oh, okay. All right. I like your moxie of then referring to a different game.
Well, I'm also willing to re-roll a dice. I can do that, can I not?
Oh yeah, go for it. Re-roll.
Okay, so that would be the first one. I'm just to subtract. We were at 7, so I'm going to minus 1. And screw it. Let's do 2. This is important for him. And just roll 2 d20s, and let's see what we get.
Oh, so would that make it 3?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, you have a couple of seconds beat on this. You hear that one of the Monofonto goons is behind you.
And I put the gun up that I was holstered right at Betsy. If he moves any closer to me, Betsy, I will shoot him. Shoot you. Tell your goons to back off.
At that point, every single Monofonto goon and John Hancock and John Hancock's man all point guns at you and say, and John just says, "Stand the fuck down, Freddy."
No.
Jade is going to place his hand on Freddy too, and like,
Janine is coming with us or we all die. That's the choice you guys have right now. Go ahead, Frank. Shoot me. Come on.
John says, "You're threatening to blow up Good Neighbor."
I'm threatening to survive here and take somebody with me. You choose if it's going to take out Good Neighbor.
and Jade is like cutting over and looking at Betsy like, "Listen, Betsy, Janine killed and again name's gone.
Monderosa Jones.
Jones. And she did that because he killed her father. Now you want to kill her. This will never end. this is how we got in this forsaken place in the first place, because people want to kill each other all the time for power or for money or for love or for whatever. We have to stop this at some point. Look around you. This whole area was one big city and green at one point. I saw it 200 years ago. And now we are destroying everything in the name of destroying instead of trying to rebuild everything. I know that that was what your man tried to do. Are we going to destroy everything again just for revenge?
Okay, that would have been, without the speech, charisma speech check 5 difficulty. I'm knocking that down to 4 because you invoked Monderosa Jones's whole thing, and I like that. So yeah, speech charisma, difficulty 4.
Feel free to use points if you need to.
Yes. Let's see what I have here.
I purposely made a big stink here to start a big stink. So.
Yes, you did. And there's going to be consequences for this, Freddie, because before, as a play, John Hancock might have been down with it, but you can tell from looking at him that at this point, John Hancock is apoplectic. He is not happy with what you've just done.
Well, neither are the rest of us necessarily.
Freddy's slowly cracking, by the way, if people hadn't noticed. So.
Oh, is he? I hadn't noticed.
I kind of had. I thought something was up.
And what is it? We can put 1 extra die for 1 point to the roll.
It's 1 to add an extra dice. It's another 2 to add a second dice, and it's another 3 to add a third dice.
Can I just take
You
1...
have 7 at the moment.
Oh,
I
6.
just used 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. So that was down to 5. So you could have a maximum of 1. You can use 2 extra action points. No, wait. Is it 3 because you've got 7?
We got 7, yeah.
So it's 5. You've got 5 now because Freddie used 2. That's 1.
And
2,
I have
3.
taken 1, so I'm rolling 3d20 now.
Okay, so you're down to 4.
Let's see. Oh, holy shit.
Okay.
Can we cannot re-roll?
No, that's a fail that is going to stand.
Dun dun dun.
That's a crit for the viewers. Crit fail. That's not fair.
Well,
Take a moment if you need to.
I do
That's
because
not fair.
I'm figuring it's going to be a discussion at this time.
no, because
The word.
Betsy shoots you in the head, Freddie. That's what happened now. And you can't argue I'm not doing unfair here because you played the nuclear card and there was a critical failure in the negotiation, so there's no other way this could have gone.
That's not my lie, though. That's the thing I'm taking into a point here. It wasn't my lie, so but the nukes, however you want to play it.
Oh wait, hang on, let me think
That
for a
was
second,
one.
because this is again, you've taken this to an area that I did not think of. Because I didn't think that you would do the nuclear ploy again in a populated area. This is not something I planned.
Why do you think you even have stopped?
It's true. This is on me. I let it play out the first time. Of course, you would try it again. That is entirely on me. Okay, let me think this out. Right.
I apologize.
So,
I'm
I think
moving a lot around. I'm using 2 screens.
Yep. the lie was said before. If she wants to try, I mean, because I succeeded very well in it earlier. So about the nukes, but I'll let you think on it. If you try to shoot me in the head, I'm fine.
Okay. Let me just look up a thing. I think I got this.
Should be here somewhere.
There it is. Right.
This is what happens when you throw a wrench in without talking earlier.
No, this is cool. This is very
Get your
cool.
gears.
I do enjoy this. It's just honestly, I'm going to reveal the curtain here. I didn't set a weapon that Betsy had. I set pretty much everything else except her weapons, because again, I mean, I meant to, but I don't know. I was making a lot of characters at the time. I was doing like an evening of character making. I guess I just let this one slip. So, currently looking up.
She goes pew pew with her fingers on.
There we go. Okay.
It's just one of these joke guns, and she clicks it and it says bang.
Oh. Let's see.
There we go. Ah, good. Okay. Quickly fixing a character sheet I should have done ages ago. Okay. There it is. Hunting rifle. So yeah, she pulls out a hunting rifle and shoots you in the head.
Well, if she started pulling out one, I would have shot her.
We will play that out. We will play that out.
Is there a dodge?
Yeah, that I don't know. I was gonna see.
Two-handed, fire rate, normal, damage 6, physical, piercing. Right.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. Okay, so
I can't remember how this system even works anymore, so I apologize.
Well, that was 2 successes and one of them was a crit.
all right, so that is
I mean, she's standing there drawing, and I had my gun pointed at her. I'm just wondering if this.
with piercing, this gets past 4 of your armor in the head, and you take 9 damage.
That's fine. I'm just trying to figure out. It gets past my armor. What was it? How much it's past?
It's piercing, and she got like 4 specials, so that means it gets past 4 armor, I believe.
Okay, so it's 9 total. Okay.
Yeah. And at that point, and when you're reeling from that, a bunch of her men. Oh, you hit. You managed to hit Betsy.
If this was a computer game around about now, I'd be thinking about safes coming.
Okay. So that's minus. That's so 8, 9, 10. You get 10 damage.
In the head, also.
Oh, of course.
Jade is getting very familiar with your head, Freddy.
So Betsy goes down, and at that point, a bunch of Monofonto goons wrestle you to the ground. There's like 4 of them, and they take you to the ground. Betsy,
Keep shooting.
sorry,
Just keep shooting.
you're unable to
I
keep
mean-
shooting at this point. So let me describe the scene and what just transpired from start to finish. Freddy, Betsy quickly pulls out a hunting rifle and shoots you in the head. You are immediately injured because that got over 5 hit points. You have a head wound. You manage to fire off and get Betsy in the head. She falls back as well. Monofonto goons, the Monofonto goon behind you and a couple that have moved around to your side, wrestle you to the ground. People in Good Neighbor scream and start to run away from the gunfight that is taking place. That has just happened. Frank goes to immediately Betsy's side and see that she's okay. And John Hancock is pointing his gun at you, Freddy, as you are on the ground being held down, being... Why? What the fuck did you do? What the fuck did you just do?
Well, I was just trying to get her Jeanine out of here, and she became all bitchy and shot me, so I shot her back.
He smashes you in the face with the butt of his gun.
I assume unconscious.
Ba-ba-ba. You take 2 physical damage to your head again. And John Hancock signals to some of his goons and says, "Take him." And Freddy, you are dragged away towards the 3rd rail, whilst Betsy gets up, bleeding from the head, and points her gun at Augusta and Jade and says, "We gonna have any more fucking trouble?"
I really hope not.
Oh, by
Already
the way,
have
John,
his-
if you drag me too far from Tumo, it's gonna go off too.
At that point,
So at least bring the box.
the Monofonto goons strip you down, search you, go through all of your pockets, and they quickly realize that you do not have any kind of trigger device on you.
It's with, as I told them earlier, it was synced to my Pip-Boy. That was my lie
Okay. In that
earlier.
case, they rip your Pip-Boy off you.
And I told them it was synced to my biometrics.
Yeah,
so
you
if they
did,
take it
didn't
off,
you?
it goes.
Okay, fair enough. You did say that. It's been 2 weeks.
Yep, I know.
So
I'm remembering
that.
to.
So, a couple of goons take Tumu and start basically pulling off all of your inventory and throwing it all around, and they find the box with the mini nukes in it that you showed off earlier.
And it's locked. It's a locked box.
Yeah, and they take that with you as they take you down to the 3rd rail. So yeah, you are now... We'll go through where you go. So they take you down the stairs.
I
And
figured same room with Jean.
And no, not quite. They take you down the stairs. Magnolia is there sitting at the bar and looks very confused. Dignam, the ghoul bartender, is there. This is just pretty normal for him. It's not that unusual for a bleeding man to be dragged down the stairs. You've dragged down some additional stairs, and you are thrown into what appears to be like a janitorial cupboard. You don't know, like, Tumu is still on the street. You don't know where the box of nukes are. One of the goons is there with you and essentially start tippy-tapping on your Pip-Boy. Meanwhile, back outside, it's pretty...
I'd be careful if you push the wrong button. You should just leave it alone.
And the goon smashes you in the face with his gun.
That isn't going to help. If you kill
use...
me, it's going to go off anyway. He's pushing this lie.
He hits, but doesn't really seem to do any damage. It hurts, though. It hurts, but he doesn't do any damage. No hit points were lost in that. I used John Hancock's because I had the sheet open, and I didn't want to go rooting around for a goon sheet that I've made.
No problem. Again, I'm fine with it.
I wasn't expecting to use these like this.
I wasn't expecting a failure to cause it to happen either.
Well, you fuck around, you find out.
Yep,
you fuck around and you find out.
That's why it's role playing and fun.
So at that point,
and if I die, he died.
I mean, you might at this point. Like, that's a real danger because you did just threaten to blow up a town. Like, and they took out the danger at this point. So at that point, Betsy says, "Does he speak for you?"
Nope.
I'm not sure who he's speaking for at this point. Like, we talked last night. I thought this was all sorted.
Just have to say something. I know I didn't get the 4 necessary, but I was just looking up what happened with the complications.
That was the complication.
Yeah, but if you succeed with complications, you still succeed the task. You just get a complication after.
Yeah, but you didn't succeed.
No, I didn't. But I remember we have had situations earlier, so I just looked it up now.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's all good.
My brain, you know.
So yeah, Betsy says, "You're not getting Janine. Now, are you two gonna go and get this constitution or not?"
I realize
we can't leave Tumu because he's got all our supplies.
Really hard now, but I had hoped before Freddy started this that we could have negotiated Janine getting out too.
You're not getting Janine. Says Betsy. John Hancock says, You're lucky that we haven't killed you.
I know that.
The only reason you're still alive right now is because, one, pretty sure that Freddy has lost his fucking mind, and two, I can't be seen gunning down the heroes of the Commonwealth in the middle of the fucking street. At that point, a kid runs by wearing a t-shirt that has a really crude drawing of Augusta on it. And the kid just runs up to Augusta and pulls your hand and says, "Is it true that you tried to save the railroad and it didn't happen and you failed?"
Some of it.
John Hancock says, "Tim, fuck off." And the kid starts to cry a little bit and runs away.
Well, I can see where negotiations went wrong here.
You think?
Look, threatening to blow up was never the plan. We didn't want to do that. I didn't think Freddy was going to carry on with that. But I feel very strong-armed in being forced to have to go and get this constitution. Is there nobody else who can do it? Is this the only way this works out?
I wasn't trying to strong-arm you. I was asking for your help.
I get that, but I think it may not have come across that way.
What do you mean? I didn't have a gun on you. I offered to pay you. I offered to help you.
Well, who shot Freddy in the face if no one had a gun on us?
Betsy. Because he was threatening to blow up Good Neighbor.
Yeah, but he wasn't about to. We're all standing here. That would be ludicrous.
We don't know that.
Really?
He threatened to destroy Good Neighbor. At that moment, he was the biggest danger of Good Neighbor in the middle of an almost civil war with the Institute fucking invading with robots up north coming to kill us all. At that point, Freddy was more dangerous than all of that.
Oh, you are... Okay, I haven't got a lot of practical experience in like the world as it is, but I've read lots and lots of books, and like the whole thing of mutually assured destruction, did that miss you out completely? Where you can't have a war like that because if you do one move, it guarantees the other person will completely annihilate you. And that's a dumb thing to do, so no logical person would do that, right? And yet Freddy threatens that, and suddenly you're going, oh, we have to shoot him because he's the biggest danger. He's not the biggest danger because he's not going to blow it up. Even if he threatened to blow it up, you'd kill him. It'd be ridiculous.
Okay, I think this is going to be a science charisma roll.
I like these rolls.
Difficulty 3.
Now, Augusta, she got book learning.
And you got your lab coat on. Is that a
I do have my
sciencey
lab
thing?
coat on. I've forgotten what that
That's
means,
on
though.
intelligence.
Yeah, I think it's on intelligence. And
I
not
thought it was a
science.
science thing.
I'm
no.
double checking right now.
This is
No,
definitely
it's an
stretching the
intelligence.
definition of science because this is more like you've made a political science argument, kind of. Which
Yeah,
is what
kind
I'm
of.
thinking.
It's a tactical thing rather than a. No, because that's the speed of sound kind of argument.
I don't know. I've made the call now. It may be wrong, but I've made the call now.
No, you're the boss.
You
in
can
that
roll
point of view.
dice if you want. Grab dice if you
I
feel
love
like
being
it.
the boss because if I make a mistake, I can just say, "Well, that's it, though. I've done it now, so fuck you."
Yeah, you can divert from the lore of the game if you want to. I mean,
Well, I just
all
did.
bets are off.
I've given
Oh,
you a
yeah,
bit of a
we
leg
all
up because I
have.
now remembered that Augusta, your science is your main thing. So I probably made this easy for you, but it's fine.
I'm just trying to. I
Oh,
can't
dear.
find where I put. I know I have it in my character sheet. Finding it. I thought it was a perk. I'm sort of wrestling with the screen size issue now. Open that. That's resist disease. That's no use. Where is my flipping lab coat?
Gear.
Gear.
I'm just getting there. Jumpsuit lab coat. Equipped. Yes. Why haven't I got the details on there? That's just the coverage of it.
Give me a second. I have it here.
Usually I have to go and stuff.
Lab code allows you to re-roll a single d20 on one intelligence-based skill test
not
to make
intelligence.
each scene.
Not gonna happen. Can I use an action point?
Use a couple if you need to.
I mean, I only need one of these rolls to work. No, I need. Hang on.
You need one more success.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to take one action. Is that how this works?
Yeah, take an action point. So that's down to 3. 7 target of
That'd be
10.
3.
That is your 3 successes. So yeah.
Yep, just scraped.
At that point, Bessie looks down and says, "All right. Still, he tried to kill me. He stepped up. He failed. His life is mine."
I understand your point of view. What he did was completely illogical, but so was shooting him for it.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's gonna fly. John has just says, "Are you insane?" He was threatening. Whether bluffing or not, mutual assured, whatever or not, he threatened to destroy Good Neighbor and kill us all, and she tried to stop him. So yeah, no, he's
By doing the thing that he just said would set off the bot. Oh, never mind. Look, he is being restrained somewhere, I have no doubt. We're apparently not, because you want us to go and get this constitution. How far a trip are we talking here?
Can I, because I have a bit of a problem here. I, as a player, do not want to, like, speak against Tim or his character. I really don't want to be the reason his character is killed, but
No,
Jay,
feel play. I played this purposely and it went wrong. The dice gods screwed us, or me. So we'll just go with that.
because
I'm
Jade
not
at
dead
this
yet.
point wants to just, I don't know what the fuck Freddy was on, and I am,
Kat, just so you know,
yeah.
what happens to Freddy at this point is entirely on him. Like, no guilt should be felt by you. This is entirely Freddy's decision.
Don't worry about this.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I set things up for a certain thing and the dice did not work. So it's the RPG.
okay, because at this point Jade is going to be like, I have no idea what the fuck Freddy is on. I does not in any way like know where he was going with this or stand behind him on this. In my opinion, you can have him because he started this. I still want to make an argument about Janine. Because she just followed the same logic as you, basically. Hancock killed her father when she was a girl, a small girl. And Hancock came here alone.
Okay. You raised an additional
Why did he
argument.
come here alone? Why didn't he take a couple of guards with him?
John says,
But you can have Freddy.
okay, I can see what you're doing here. This is going to be a speech persuasion difficulty 3. Knock it down another one, because you've added another angle to the argument. But yeah, at this point, this is basically your last shot at going down this.
No, I fully support Jade on this because like that's a crazy thing to do, and like what my argument is that they should have seen that was a crazy thing to do and treated him like a crazy person rather than a serious person with any clear weapon.
So, what did you say, Michelle?
Speech charisma difficulty 3.
Speech charisma. And I am going to take an extra action point to put an extra dice on that. Let's see. I'm trying to see if this works. Oh, for fuck's sake. No, the dice are not with us today.
This might be a whole weekend of TPKs.
Oh my god. I can't even reroll any of those. It's just...
Yeah, no, that's just really bad luck. People that can't see the dice thing, that's 3 no successes and another critical failure, which
and a complication.
Yeah, a complication.
I really have to switch to physical dice.
Well,
Doesn't help. I've tried that.
But she has plenty of them to try. So.
Yep.
Betsy says to you, right. I just find out that you people were heroes. That I had you completely wrong. But your man threatens to kill everyone and you. And you still think you have any right for this woman's life? Absolutely not. And she walks off towards the third rail.
Yep.
John Hancock says, I don't think you two should be around. I think you two need to leave.
Yeah.
We need that constitution. Whether you go and get it or not.
We do. And you don't owe us.
Alright. Get the fuck out. And as you walk out, you hear 2 gunshots ring out from the 3rd rail. Freddy, you are in the cupboard, and the goon has gone through your Pip-Boy and has discovered that there is no protocol linking the Pip-Boy to the nukes, and has started to beat you repeatedly.
It wouldn't take much. He had only a couple hit points left.
You hear next door muffled sounds and 2 gunshots. And then a knock at the door. Betsy walks in and the goon says, There ain't no connection between the Pip-Boy and the nukes. Do you have any last words?
Not really. Only wish you were dead instead.
Not even attempting to save your own life. Okay.
At this point, he has no negotiation. He starts thinking, but if you really want those guys to succeed, you're probably going to need to let me go. They can't negotiate shit.
All right. This is going to be a difficulty 5 speech charisma check. If you fail this,
I'm
you
fine
know
with
the stakes.
I'm happy with this. The bad roll is what kind of put us down this path, and I'm fine with it. Charisma.
Charisma speech.
Speech. And how many dice do we have left? Because I lost track.
3.
You've got 4
is
left.
what is on my. Okay.
Oh no, you've got 3. Sorry, I've got 4. I shouldn't have said that. Ignore that. Forget
fine.
that. But yeah, you've got 3. Oh, right.
Oh, and a critical fail.
Oh no!
Are you going to
And I
use your
can't
2?
reroll.
You're going to use your 2 dice or do any reroll? Or no? Well, yeah.
I can't reroll on a crit fail.
Oh yeah, and it's a difficulty 5. So even if you use up all your action points, there's no way. Yeah. She just says.
I had to at least get 2 or 3 successes to have a chance. So.
At that point, she laughs and says, I don't think they're going to need someone like you. And she fires. And
I was at minimal hit points, so the fact that she hits me, I'm dead.
oh yeah, like this is a point blank gunshot to the head. So Freddy, just before the gun fires, you find yourself thinking of those you left behind in Edinburgh. Your protege, your old friend, and your wife.
Mm-hmm.
The bullet lands in your skull, and you never feel anything ever again.
Which to him is also a relief.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish the dice rolls would have went different. It would have been a lot more fun.
So yeah, Tim, after the session, at some point over the next week, make a new character.
Not a problem.
Same level as Freddy was. But yeah, you're going to have to come up with a whole other thing. And we'll work that out during the week. Apologies.
Not a
Wow.
I gave you as many outs as I could, man.
Hey, look at how many critical fails we had tonight.
Yeah,
1, 2,
really
3, 4.
Profoundly bad luck. Like, profoundly bad luck. So, Augusta... I'll just change the map around so you can have a look at what's occurring. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, no. I just need to move this one. So that should work.
One of you better rescue Tumu.
Okay, so you leave with Tumu. You still have all of your items. But you are here. Just outside the gate. And as you look on the map on your Pip-Boy, you see the Boston Public Library. It's sort of halfway between kind of where you are and Diamond City, assuming that is where you want to go. You are pretty
It's the place
sure.
we're being sent. So
Yeah, you are 100% sure that you just left Freddy to die. You know for sure that pretty much the Janine is dead. What would you like to do?
probably cry a bit.
How long do you cry for?
Wait, are you going to account for me having to have another drink to deal with the?
I was kind of joking, but yeah, you know. But yeah, just
yeah,
describe what you do.
I think Augusta's feeling pretty emotional. It's been like because Freddie was one of the first people she met after the group got together and they were trying to find the Gek. So that's been a long time with one person, well, with one small group of people, and to have suddenly lost one person, I think she's probably a bit upset about that.
What about you, Jade?
I mean, Jade is going to try and comfort Augusta. Not necessarily. Oh, by the way, we have to get Olivia with us.
Oh yeah, they're all with you.
Yeah.
The whole crew is there. Olivia sits down next to Augusta and gingerly puts a hand on her shoulder and says, "I'm sorry."
Who did we have else? Vincent and
Carl and General Isaacs are there. Carl at that point is probably. I mean, I don't want to role play him too much, but he's not happy with what just happened. The specifics of what kind of unhappy he is, I'm going to leave that up to Vincent when he joins us again. General Isaacs at that point is just a bit apoplectic, just like, what the fuck was he thinking? What the fuck was he thinking?
Yeah.
High risk, high reward, but you'll never know now he's dead.
I don't know what reward would have been. I don't know what reward you were going for, man. I have no idea what you were going for.
He was trying to rescue Janine, but he was going about it in a roundabout way that, he's
that the dice didn't agree to.
Yes, exactly.
You played your character. You absolutely played your character.
True.
I can commend you for that.
Yeah. It was the dice rolls. That was not, because if it would have succeeded, it would have been interesting.
So I don't think Jade is going to say much. He is more of a thinker, I think. So he's probably analyzing everything in his head, but trying to, at least he tries to comfort Augusta while we walk, because we have to get going. But he's not in a state of mind where he have much to say.
Fair enough. As you walk, little Miss Nanny goes up to Augusta and says, "Oh, did Miss have a boo-boo?"
Something like that. Don't worry about me just now.
Let me see if you've got any cuts and scrapes on those knees.
I told you before about the jumpsuit. It doesn't work like that.
Oh yes, because you are strong. You're a very strong girl. You're gonna grow up to be a mighty warrior. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, they told me that the first 18 years.
You wander past the skids. As you do, you overhear a couple of rounds of gunfire and a few screams. And you walk through past there and do not encounter anything. And you arrive at the Boston Public Library. Notes. Ooh. One note. You've betrayed me. There we go. Okay. You arrive outside the Boston Public Library. This is a pretty grand-looking building. It is. If you were to walk around the perimeter, it would be a very square building. There's a lot of arches out the front, big double doors, and you see a few cages with bags of viscera. You also see on the ground a couple of dead super mutants. What would you like to do?
Jade, can you come over here a sec?
Sure.
This is the place, and in here is a constitution that we need to bring back to the people that just murdered our friend, apparently. And I just wanted, like, quick, if you remember better than I do why we're doing this again.
If you require an exposition thing,
No,
let me know.
I'm
Okay.
I'm wanting to do.
And first of all, Jade seems a bit distracted, like lost in thoughts. He's reacting to you, inquiring for him to join you, but he's looking at this building with some strange longing look in his eyes. So you ask this question and he's looking back. Because we no longer have a choice, do we?
It'd be easy for us to just not go back.
And place another target on our backs.
What do you think is going to happen if we go back with the Constitution? Will they give us a pat on the head and an apple and send us on our way?
I don't know. But if we don't, this whole area can be in a war again. Then
Well,
Good Neighbor and Monofonto can start this war all over again because...
but the way things are going, they'll have destroyed each other by the time the Ministry gets anywhere near all this nonsense. We're all screwed. I don't... Okay, this place is giving me very bad vibes looking at the outside. Whatever's in those cages, I think may have been alive at some point. Those things definitely used to be super mutants on the ground. They're just casually murdering anything. Something bad's in there.
At that point, you hear some very faint screams. Let's do a... Perception survival test DC 4. You can both do this.
No, I can't, apparently.
Augusta, you don't. You just hear screams.
Okay, last chance. If I miss this one, I'm going to find the physical dice. And you said how much difficulty?
It was a 4. So...
4. It was 4. So
okay.
that would have been 2, and mine was 0.
Not
Everything
going
here's
to-
fine. I don't
With
understand what the worry
a
is.
2, I will tell you that you can hear this is one person screaming. That's all you're getting. Augusta, you hear screams. You can't work out if it's one person or multiple people. But yeah, so you're outside this door. What would you like to do?
Narratively, am I expecting it to be very, very bad in there? Or are we just like we're getting there and we're finding out it's probably very bad in there?
Narratively, you have walked up to this building, you have heard screams from inside,
Got you.
and there are super mutant bodies outside. The super mutant...
Just in case I had any further reason to be worried about the building apart from the stuff that we've seen and the
No,
screaming.
there's nothing that... you don't really see anybody else around. Yeah, no, you see what you see. That is the situation. I mean, you can try the door. You can walk around the building, the perimeter. You could investigate, or you could try to break open the door, or whatever. Or there's a couple of windows, pretty thin. No, thin as in like that kind of thin. Where
Yeah.
Not the panes.
Narrow rather
It's
than
very. There's a word for the architecture of it that I can't remember. Art Gecko? Not Art Gecko, that's not the word.
Art Deco.
Yeah, it's an Art Deco-y kind of building. Pretty popular with a lot of the public service governmental buildings in Boston.
Did Hancock say anything about what was in there? Because there was
He told you last time that they did a lot of their planning in reading room B inside. So that was where him and Monderosa Jones left their version of a constitution, and a lot of their work reading through various books inside the library took place in reading room B.
Yeah, but he said because there was some reason he didn't go and get it himself. If I remember correctly, he told us something about there's something there.
He told you that he went on his own to try and reclaim the documents, in the hopes that he could maybe show that to Betsy at Monofonto to try and get to quell the war. But he couldn't get in, and there were screams inside, and he couldn't necessarily tell anyone in Good Neighbor about it, because the idea of a provincial Commonwealth government is not necessarily a popular one amongst his people.
Jade, I think I have an idea. Can you let me try something?
As long as it's...
It should involve bullets going into squishy parts.
As long as it's not my squishy parts, please.
No one's. I want to threaten nobody's squishy parts. I might ask Miss Nanny if she can help me find a book, and just like see if she can find it in the library, and then bring back a map of where we can find it ourselves. So I'd like Miss Nanny to go in quietly, find the book, and then be able to tell us where to find it when we go in.
Are you issuing that order to Miss Nanny?
Yeah, that's my plan.
Miss Nanny says, "Right, you are, miss," and goes up to the door and pulls on the handle, and the door opens a little bit, but as it opens, it lands on something. Little Miss Nanny tries. Let me just get Little Miss Nanny up.
I can roll it as well. I've got the sheet too.
With Little Miss Nanny, could you roll a Strength Athletics 5? I don't know if Miss Nanny even has athletics.
I don't know either. I think we're about to find out. I don't think she does.
Okay, that was just 0 successes, no complications.
Yeah.
No, uncomplicated.
She tries a bit and then goes back and says, "I'm sorry, Mom. The door seems to be stuck."
Are there any open windows?
There's a few windows, but none of them are open. They're not really the kind
Damn
of
it.
windows that open.
But she does have a rotating blade.
Okay, you want to do that?
I can try and open the door.
There's a possibility it might be trapped, Jade. I've had some experience with this before where you open the door and then something behind it pulls on a string and explodes.
If you want to try and attempt to force the door open, Jade, strength athletics. Difficulty 5.
Well, Augusta makes a good point.
Maybe use a long stick or a rope or something. I don't know.
How much did the door open?
Remember, you can spend luck to get a hint. That is a thing that is in the rules. And Tim is always saying people should be reminded that what they can do with luck. That is my reminder of that particular mechanic that you have not used yet.
Hey, you know what we could have used earlier before Tim's
Yeah.
character got shot?
Yeah, I thought of that just now as we said it.
Sure. Yeah, because I'm full on luck, so let's do that. Let's take 1. That wasn't the one. Jesus Christ. I'm
Okay.
sitting with...
If you're spending a luck for information,
Yeah.
Jade, you remember that you've rarely found a building that didn't have some kind of fire escape or something from the pre-war world. You remember that most buildings like this in public places had some kind of emergency exit. And you also know that there's a number of buildings like this, publicly funded government kind of buildings, that also had their own fallout bunkers and shelters. Not like vaults, not full vaults all the time, but usually there are more ways to access a building like this than that meets the eye.
I mean, my vault was under a school.
Yeah, so essentially, it's worth investigating around the building to see what other ways in there are, because most buildings don't just have a front door when it comes to libraries, swimming pools, municipal buildings in general, government buildings, etc.
Can we just to see if we can make it easier? Is there any role I can do to again try to remember? It's a long time ago, but Jade have been here before.
I don't think Jade has been to this library before. It's a boss. You were very much a Washington-based mutant.
Yeah.
You might have been here before, like in the last few years, but
nope, because he have been in the vault all the time until he escaped. But his dad worked at Smithsonian, so he will have been on the Boston Library from time to time. It's not many times, but Jade would have been there a time or two. Again, it's 200 years ago. He may not remember anything. That was the question. Is there any role, or are we just going with he knows that there are other entrances?
I mean, I don't know what more you need to know because there are other entrances.
Okay.
You should probably walk around the building and look and see if there are.
Okay. Yep. Right, let's do that.
That's a sensible move.
Yeah.
Okay. You walk around the building.
Oh, sorry, one moment. I'll have the people that we're with wait with Tumu at the front and keep track of things. We don't want to lose Tumu. We don't want to lose our other people.
All right, so General Isaac says, right, I'll set up a perimeter. Olivia says, what do you mean a perimeter? Olivia's like, I'll show you. Let's just do this. So Augusta and Jade walks around the building. The sides of the building doesn't really have much going on, but you make it to the back and you see that there is a door. Next to the door is basically a piece of sheet metal. There is no writing on it or anything. It is just a door with a keyhole in it. Next to it is a monitor that has been smashed. But you do find a rope dangling from the roof around the back of the library. Is like 2 stories, you can tell. It's got 2 stories to it, and there is a rope dangling from the roof.
Well, this doesn't seem suspiciously easy at all.
Jade, with all due respect, you're slightly heavier than me. Could you pull on that and see if it'll take some kind of weight without breaking or falling apart?
Absolutely. So Jade is going to test if the... Oh, I just got a picture of Home Alone. The one...
Well, hopefully it's not an iron at the top, but...
Yep. Let's, so... Jade is testing if the rope holds, if it's anchored to anything. Hopefully just something to climb up.
You pull it, you give it a good yank, and it seems pretty secure.
What do you think, Jade?
Were the handles on the door?
No.
Well, let's go up.
Should I go first, or do you want to go first?
You might be the better fighter and shooter.
I'm not, but I'm reasonable at stealth.
Yeah. You seem like your head is clearer than mine right now.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I find that when something like this happens, you just have to, I push myself straight into it and just get whatever the next job is done, and then I'll probably be weeping all night later on.
Go up with you. I'll come after you.
Okay, so Augusta's going to try and climb the rope.
Okay. This is a strength athletics check, DC 2.
I'm just going to go for broke and try and... Have we got any points left at all, actually?
You do.
What have I not seen them?
There's 3 I've got down.
Yeah, I'm telling you what I've just done is I've just rolled Miss Nanny's strength athletics is what I've done wrong there.
Oh, okay.
That's why I couldn't see the points. Can I try that again from my actual character sheet?
Yeah, do it.
Thank you. It's like, why couldn't I see the points? Because Miss Nanny doesn't have action points. I mean, it's not any better, but at least I've used the right character.
Will you be spending an action point?
I will spend an action point, taking us down to 1.
Oh, you're now down to... Well, no, you're down to 2 is what I've got.
Oh, okay. I may have misclicked because there was a lot going on earlier. That's 10.
Okay. You do make it up, but your first attempt you fall down. So that would be, you know what, an easy way of going through that. That is, you take 1 hit point's worth of damage.
Okay.
But you do make it up. And as you climb to the top, as you get there, you see you climb up, you scramble up, and you sort yourself out. You dust yourself off, and you look up, and you see a man in a trench coat pointing a gun at you.
This stage is getting better and better.
In a very, very thick Boston accent, he says, "Freeze. Who are you?"
Augusta, I've come to borrow a book.
He holds his gun on you for a second, and then puts his gun down and says, "Ah, you're Augusta Byron." And as he
This is
moves
very
the
hard
gun,
to keep from everyone.
he moves when he moves the gun down, you see his face. This man is a synth. He is what looks to be a first generation synth, but he's unusual in that he appears to have reasoning and a personality. Just from what he said, you get that from what he's just said. This is not.
Yeah, that was
typical
emotional.
synth. Yeah. I was not expecting, well, depending on who you ask, either the wannabe destroyer or savior of Boston on this roof. What are you doing here?
I never wanted to destroy Boston.
Well, that's what Piper always thought.
Piper?
Old friend. Doesn't matter. Anyway. This is weird. So what book are you looking for?
Copy of the Constitution, obviously.
The Constitution. Like the pre-war Constitution.
No, the other one, obviously.
What other one?
I've come to the library to get a book. Can I come and look at a book? I'm not going to hurt anyone. I'm not going to shoot anyone. You don't need to shoot me. I'm just going to take a book and go away again. I can pay for the book if you need me to.
He holsters his pistol and says, "Well, I'm not really a librarian. Nick Valentine, private detective."
Oh, hello.
I'm here on a case. Now,
That sounds interesting. I hope you have fun with it.
yeah, this is a bit awkward, isn't it? It's just a bit awkward.
Why?
Well, there's a lot going on in the Commonwealth, as you probably know, but...
Oh, I've noticed.
And you appear to be climbing up my rope.
If I'd known it was your rope, I would have certainly asked you first.
Well, it's fine. Just, come with me. And he signals for you. He just says, and he kneels down and he sneaks over and he starts sneaking away. You can see on the roof that there is not a lot there. Typical roof. There's bits of debris, the odd toolkit, the odd metal block that you assume is some kind of vent or
Oh,
central...
Freddie would have loved this place. All this stuff to scavenge.
You see to your right that there is a door that you assume leads down and is some kind of fire escape. And
I feel like I should indicate to Jade not to come up.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
I feel like I should kind of wave down, kind of like...
But yeah, Freddy is heading towards in the middle of the roof.
Freddy?
Nick. Nick is sort of sneaking towards...
It's been a long day.
Nick is sort of sneaking towards a big glass dome. Part of it has been smashed, obviously, through time. Part of it's fallen in, but essentially it's still mostly intact. This sort of glass dome that's in the middle of the roof.
I guess I'm following him and very, very quietly as much as I can.
Cool. So he stops just at the dome and he points down. And as you look through the glass, you see a courtyard in the center of the library. So the library is essentially a square building, and the library itself is sort of all around the edge. And in the center, there is a courtyard. And in the courtyard, you can see a number around six members of the Sisterhood of Pain. who are just going to town on each other. There is a 7th in the corner. I'm going to leave going to town on each other to your imagination. You kind of know what they're about. They wear leather.
I'm imagining it being a pain thing rather than a fun thing.
Well, to them it's both.
It crosses over, yeah.
It crosses over. And to the side, there is a 7th who, from your dealings before, you can identify as a priestess of pain. And next to her, you see Cassie tied to a chair. On the other side, Cassie Gusler, I should say. On the other side of the
I'm
courtyard,
guessing the stupid Jim will be around then.
you see, also not tied to a chair, but sort of chained to a statue that's off to the side, a heavily burnt set of power armor with a particularly fucked up looking head and no helmet. And you can see one of the Sisterhood of Pain is just going to town on his head. I'd like you to do a perception survival check. This time is a difficulty of 1. You hear the scream, which sounds like this. Ah! Ah! Stop! Ah! No! Stop it! Let me out! Ah! Ah!
Yeah, that's Jim. That's our Jim.
You don't see stupid Jim anywhere. Nick then takes you and whispers to you. I've been looking for this girl for weeks. And
Cassie.
she's right there. You know her.
We sort of met a few weeks ago.
Well, if you're looking for a book, you're going to be very careful.
Why the heck are they doing this here?
I don't know.
Have you encountered these people before? The Sisters of Pain. They're not great. I mean, I don't know what they'll do to you because, I mean, you've clearly got emotions or something, but...
Well, I don't really think we should be exchanging backstories at this point.
Fair point.
I'm
Fair
just
point.
happy that you didn't shoot me on sight. That tends to be what happens.
This has been a very bad day for shooting on site, so I'm not going to start on that just now. Again, backstories, not the time. But
not the time for a trauma dump. Let's just.
what are you planning to do right now?
I didn't really think that far ahead.
Okay, I've got some more people, just outside who might be able to help.
Well, at this point, I don't think I can really turn down the help. And you seem to know Cassie, so...
What's your deal with Cassie? Are you going to hurt her? Are you going to take her away? Are you going to lock her up? Are you going to...
Her mum hired me weeks ago to find her. And as I was out, I went back to Diamond City and I couldn't get in. So I set up shop in Monofonto Towers, and I'm still carrying on the case whilst waiting for a way to get back home.
Okay, it sounds like we might be able to help each other out a little bit here. Can I pop back down to the ground and we will get my friends, colleagues, and see what we can figure out about a better plan that involves more than 2 of us?
So I take it the hero stories I've been hearing about you are true.
No, never believe that stuff. That's just hearsay. People always love a story, especially in these times, in this place.
Well, maybe one day you'll be able to tell my friend Piper your story, because she would kill a fucking deathclaw to hear about that. But yeah, let's climb down and let's meet your friends. Are you here with that tall mutant and the one with the lab coat?
The one with the lab coat, yeah, but no, the tall one. He had to stay.
I see. Okay. It's all right. You climb back down. Yeah, you climb back down. It's easier to climb down than it is to climb up. so I'm not going to make you roll for it. And Nick, just as he gets down, he looks at Jade and says, "Huh. I take it you're the smart one." "I'm Nick." And Jade, you see a first-generation synth that appears to have a personality and a brain and a concept of self, with half his face missing, in a trench coat and a trilby.
And I'll quickly bring Jade up to speed on what's been happening inside the building.
Okay,
and
you
who's
are
in there.
muted.
We're starting to see some interesting variations of synth lately.
Hmm.
Then he reach out his hand and shakes it.
Well, it's debatable whether I even count as a synth. But we'll talk about that later. You appear to be friends of Cassie. If I'd met you a few weeks ago, maybe I could have saved myself and her mother a whole bunch of suffering. Assuming her mother is still alive, but that's another thing. You say you had more people?
Yeah, they're around the front. They were setting up a perimeter while we checked the back out because we needed to get inside the building for the aforementioned book and thought the front door wasn't the best way.
Okay, let's go. So you walk around and you see, and when you get to the front, you see General Isaacs has Olivia pointing a gun down one side of this one street. General Isaacs is pointing her gun at another, but she spots Nick, lowers her gun and says, "Nick!" Mr. Valentine walks up to her and says, "General, I didn't expect to see you today. You are a sight for sore eyes." They embrace. They hug. These two have clearly known each other for quite a while.
This just gets more and more interesting.
That's a word for it.
Olivia points her gun at Nick and says, "Stand down, Synth." General Isaac says, No, he's not Synth. Well, he is, but he isn't.
And Jade is going to wave her down too.
Nick just holds his hands up and says, "Huh, ghoul, vault suit, you're pre-war." Olivia says, "Yep." He says, "Same as me. I was a beat cop." "What were you?" Olivia just says, "Misguided Vault Tech employee." Nick just looks at her for a second and says, "Well, seems like you've come a long way since then. So, what's the plan?"
As I mentioned, borrow a book. That's the plan. But the Sisterhood of Pain seems to be in there, and Cassie, and Stupid Jim, and no one's having a nice time, and yet also some of them are having a very nice time.
How many sisters were there?
I saw 6 or 7, I think.
I counted 7. 1 priest, 6. I don't know what the underlings are called. Probably something disgusting. But yeah, I mean, I scoped out the roof a bit. There is a fire escape that leads down. But at that point, I was honestly going to go back to Monofonto and hire some more strength. But
I wouldn't go there if I were you.
why? What happened?
They're not in a great mood with synth right now.
Oh no, they're good. I've got an office there.
Oh,
That's where I set up.
I mean, some stuff has gone down. We'll get to that another time. Would it be worth waiting for them to fall asleep, or do you think that's unlikely?
I've not been here that long. I've been watching them, and even though my brain is synthetic, I don't know how I'm going to delete those things from my mind that I've seen. But no, they seem to be in the middle of They seem to be at this for a while. I mean, my plan was to sort of wait for them to pass out at some point and then sneak down the fire escape, get Cassie, and rescue and get that guy who's locked up in whatever dungeon they've got him in. But the other one they got, the ghoul in the power armor, I don't know what's going on there. That looks like he used to be Brotherhood of Steel, so that could go either way. I didn't know whether I should even bother with him or not.
Ooh. That's Freddy's friend, right?
Well, we say friend, they absconded.
Huh. So you're friends with everyone that they've captured? And you're here
Rather
for a book.
worryingly, that does seem to be the coincidence, yeah.
You weren't here to rescue. You were here to borrow a book? What book?
We didn't know they were going to be here.
You said another constitution.
A constitution, yeah.
For what country?
That's not important right now.
Okay.
Maybe he should know.
There's clearly a greater plot going on that you are not willing to divulge, and that is fair. I am a detective after all. Whatever you tell me, it probably would help me professionally, but probably not help you in the long run, so I can respect that. Let's just get down to business. Now, we've got a number of people here. We could go for a frontal assault if we can get this door open, or we could go for a above assault from the roof, or we could wait for them to tire out from whatever they're doing and sneak in. Anybody else got any ideas?
You're muted.
How long have you been watching them in terms of hours?
I've been here for about an hour.
Okay, so
Maybe
not that
more
long.
importantly, how is Cassie looking?
No one down there was looking good. It wasn't like that holotape where everything was shiny.
There, you still there?
Yeah, my OBS just quit.
Ah, OBS, you silly Billy. General Isaac says, I don't suppose there's a way we could maybe, talk to them?
You want to just casually talk to the Sisterhood of Pain?
It's just about to say Sisterhood of Pain.
If you don't go through every single option, it's very hard to discount the ones that are not worth going for.
I
guess.
understand, but we have encountered them before in the past, and they tend to accelerate matters rather quickly when you get to a discussion.
That is very true. Okay. Well, here's what I would suggest. There is plenty of us. We could force our way in through the front, go for a full frontal assault, take them, but then that would cause a lot of noise and might disturb them from whatever they're doing. What are they doing specifically, Nick? Nick just does this with his hands. Generalized nods and says, typical, alright, fair enough. Well, then, sounds like the roof may be the better option. Take them by surprise. Run down.
The problem with this in general is that even though we are many people, we can't, it's only half of us able to fight because of their companions. So we can either take that turn ourselves or have our companions.
Or we tempt them out one at a time, so we distract them so that one person near the door hears us and comes out to see what's going on, bop them on the head or whatever, distract the next person and try and sort of kite them.
I think I saw that in a Abbott and Costello movie once. pre-war. I mean,
Yeah, we had those in the vault.
That's worth a. I think that might be worth a go.
I exaggerate slightly. I don't think booping them on the head necessarily is going to do the job, but like we can
Oh, I mean, yeah,
take them
you
out
mean,
in smaller numbers,
You mean cut their throats? Hit them on the
or
head with
whatever,
big things.
whatever it takes.
Yeah. Well, I don't like killing for no reason, but 3 of our friends in there. Sisterhood of Pain. Well, you know, in their own way, maybe they'll enjoy it. All right. So, lead the way. Let's get going.
On the way, I'll whisper to Jade and say, "Look, we did have another option, but I don't think this is the time to use the nukes either."
Definitely not.
All right, so you walk back around with everyone. You leave Tumu on the ground. You tie Tumu up to something, I assume, or you've basically secured Tumu.
We can leave Sniff with her. He must be able to protect her.
I will leave that up to Vincent when he joins. Vincent can make the call on what Sniff does.
Yeah, I mean, I suspect Carl would have an input on what the plan is, and maybe have a better plan. I'm not sure about like maybe kiting them out and then running away, and he could shoot them from a distance. But
yeah, so maybe this would be a good place to leave it.
possibly just to revise the plan and then execute it as we start the next session.
All right, so we'll leave it as you walk around to the back. And as you all prepare to climb up, on the inside, you start to hear a little more clearly, "Ah! No! No! Stop! Let me out! Ah! Ah!" Whatever is happening to stupid Jim is clearly very, very painful and unpleasant. And that's where we'll leave it.
Recognize that voice.
I would like to first off, before we go, give a round of applause to Tim for some of the best role playing, commitment to the bit, commitment to the character.
It's
It's
part of the fun.
That was incredible, truly.
Oh yeah,
You kept me on my toes.
If the roles would have gone the right way, everything would have been completely different.
That would have been incredible. I'm very sad to see that Freddie didn't make it.
Not a problem. I'm already rolling up. We will be having another companion to help the fight next time, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, I have tentatively picked a ghoul, since we don't seem to have one in the group yet. So
I will send you a message after this with some things, because some things have changed from the first character creation.
Oh, then I may, I said, tentatively.
Yeah, I'll send you the stuff. You can go with whatever you want, but yeah, and we'll make it work.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back in 2 weeks to see what terrible things the Sisterhood are doing to each other.
And we can help or hinder.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for playing. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.